go. All right, it is Thursday, January 8th, 2026. We'll call this special session to order. Start with invocation and pledge allegiance. And if you lead us, please.
Father, we ask for your wisdom and clarity as we conduct the city's business tonight. And our decisions be guided with fairness and respect, desire to serve the best interests of our community. Grant us unity in this purpose and courage to do what's right. For then we pray.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moving on, number 4, announcement.
I can see Greg's.
Sorry, technical difficulty. Moving on, announcements.
Is there a green light there?
Sorry,
We're good.
we're good.
Good.
We have lost PD areas. Announcements.
The next 7 days is the farm day.
Okay. Any other announcements? There's no other announcements. Move on to number 5, citizens input related to special session agenda items. I have one. Cecilia?
When I showed up tonight, I didn't know these guys were coming. Just as a citizen, I've got some concerns about replacing all of the water meters because that's a lot of money. And I'm just thinking, I know I've heard some pros and cons that you guys have talked about where it takes away from you, gives you guys more time when they put these meters in. But a meter either works or it doesn't. I mean, having been in construction, I know that's true. Y'all talking about the water, trying to figure out where all the extra water is going. I mean, that would be out of a pipe or when y'all are cleaning out the systems or when there's been a major break, which we've had several. So maybe that's where some of the water's going. I just think it's a lot of money that we could be doing something else with. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Sure. We'll move on from there.
So I want to make a motion that we swap 6 and 7. So we talk about the city administrator recruitment process after we let the legacy project progress go, since these guys are here and have a long drive back home.
All right, so I've got a motion to change the agenda items to go to number 7 before number 6. Do I get a second? Got a motion and a second. All in favor? Judge Goby.
Ramsey Lindsay.
Greg Sprinkle.
Okay. We'll move on to number 7, legacy project updates. Pretty much we'll go around the room. So they are with the water. Who's the water?
We want to start with place 2,
Okay.
and then we'll go back around so they can do their presentation, and I'll pull everything else back up on the computer.
Okay.
So, David Rowan. Yes, sir. I talked to David a lot on the phone. We've only met him in person one time in here. David is with Ferguson Waterworks, and he is here to talk about the benefits of changing out our water meters. Appreciate it.
Just come up here to the mic. That way to the stand where there's a mic at. Yep.
Right here?
Yep. And it'll pick you up for the audience.
Let's see. Here it is.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, very good. Well, Mr. Mayor, councilors, first off, again, my name is David Roan. I'm with Ferguson Waterworks, and on behalf of myself and the team that we've brought down, we do appreciate the opportunity to come and visit with you guys about the benefits, ultimately the benefits of upgrading your current meter system to a newer, more up-to-date system. We're going to spend some time going through a few slides, and at the end, hopefully we've left some time for some questions if any of the members of the council have questions. So introducing myself again, I'm David Roan. I'm a utility solutions specialist. I'm in Weatherford, Texas. I have Chase Cunningham. Chase is a municipal associate. He handles all your pipes, valves, and fittings. We have Joel Moore. Joel is with Camstrup. He's a regional sales manager. And then my boss, Zeb Ride, he is the manager of Intelligent Utility Solutions over the state of Texas. So between us, hopefully we'll have enough knowledge to be able to answer any questions that you guys send our way. Go ahead, hit that next one. So just a quick overview of who Ferguson is and who Camstrup is. So Ferguson, if you're not familiar, we are the largest wholesale distributor of waterworks products in the United States. So pipes, valves, fittings, appliances, HVAC, fire and fab, we cover it all. You can see in the map of the U.S. kind of our footprint. Camstrup is a Danish company. They did recently, 2 years ago, open a brand new state-of-the-art facility in Cummings, Georgia. So currently the 5/8 through 4-inch meters are proudly made in the United States. And hopefully the rest of the line, the 6 through 12, will be brought over. But Camstrup is the pioneer in ultrasonic meter technology. They've been around for 70 plus years. You see their footprint in Europe, down in Australia, and of course they have an ever-increasing footprint in the United States. Who benefits? So really, this is what we're going to focus on. We'll talk about money, we can talk about meters, but really, what do you get for the money that's being spent? Currently, you guys have the basic form of reading meters. It's the old rolling a truck, going out to every meter, visually putting eyes on it. We know that's inherently inaccurate. Somebody transposes a number, it comes back to somebody else has to write it down, so it's just not the most accurate way of doing it. So going from a direct read to what we call a fixed base or AMI read, now instead of rolling a truck once a month, you're going to get that information back to billing throughout the day. So who benefits from it? So I've got a slide up there. So we like to think that everybody benefits, not just the utility, but actually even the citizen. And how would a citizen benefit from it? Well, you're going to get a more accurate meter. And I appreciate the comments that you made. Meters, ultimately, a lot of people think, well, all they do is just read the amount of water. But there is an inherent inaccuracy built in mechanical meters. We'll kind of touch a little bit about the accuracy in an ultrasonic meter. And hopefully maybe that kind of answers some of your questions. But the customer, your billing folks, you're going to get current data. They're going to get alarms and alarms that go off. It's going to help them be proactive, that they can reach out to a customer and say, hey, we're seeing some anomalous water usage at your house. Maybe you should go out and look and see if you have a leaky toilet or somewhere. So we're giving you a tool to be proactive. Your maintenance folks, instead of having to maybe deal with a lot of warranty issues with meters, they can throw that meter in the ground and be confident that it's going to be accurate. It has a 20-year warranty on accuracy. It's got a long battery life. Now, instead of dealing with the warranty issues on meters, they can go out and roll trucks to go find and fix water leaks. So those are, again, we like to think that everybody, not just the utility, but everybody down to the citizen, the end user, because at the end of the day, you guys are end users as well. If you put them in, you guys are going to experience it as well. So go ahead, hit the next one. Point one, what is the meter? In its basic essence, it's a way to convey the amount of volume of water moving through it, but it's a cash register for the utility. It is the way for the utility to make money. Every utility has to get that, grasp that concept. And so if you have an inaccurate meter, if the meter is not registering the accurate amount of water that's going through it, then you're losing out on that billable revenue. And so kind of getting back to the comment, there is, because of that inaccuracy, some of that water that's not being billed, that's lost, it's just water that's not being recorded and billed. And so currently you guys have the older mechanical meters. And so number one, they're inherently inaccurate to begin with, but over time, because of all the mechanical components that are moving, they continue to wear out. We've got lots of horror stories where you can run through, small amounts of water and they just don't register at all. So again, that's revenue that you're missing out on. We'll hit that next one. Just a quick overview. Again, I think Mr. Lindsay, I've sent some information you guys have in front of it. I'm not going to go over a whole bunch of the meters. Again, they're made in the United States. One key thing about Camstrup is every meter before it leaves the factory is tested for accuracy. Unlike a lot of manufacturers that do samples, every meter that leaves is tested for accuracy. Again, it's when you get into AMI, you start talking about license frequencies. We go through the steps with the utility to go and gather those license frequencies with the FAA. The information is stored Yeah, we've got some samples we can pass out. Long battery life. We have meters in the ground over 24 years, and the batteries have never gone out. And so that's really important. Again, it's one of those things that JD, he and his guys are going to have to roll out and be changing meters or changing batteries out.
The battery does go out.
The meter, you got to replace the meter itself. But the batteries themselves are so good, we just don't have an issue of them going out.
But if it did, does it just
You
give
get 6
water to
months.
the house, or I mean,
You'll get a 6 months. At 6 months out, you'll start getting a warning alarm that says battery's good. So that's going to give you as a utility time to be preparing to have another one ready to go, so that you can go out and swap, and there's no lag. There's no time where there's not something recordable.
How long they last for?
Well, the warranty on them is 20 years. It's a full, on the residential sides, it's a full 10-year with a prorated 11 through 20. And we'll break that down when we can provide y'all the warranty information on all that.
The water doesn't stop flowing at the meter.
No, the water doesn't stop flowing. Go ahead, go to the next one. Let's talk about low flow consumption. So your mechanical meter, most of your meters will start recording consumption at 12/10 of a gallon. We start at 1/100th of a gallon. So to put that in perspective, a drop about every 11 seconds. So it is capturing every drip and drop that's going through there. And so you're not going to miss out on any billable water that goes through. Talk about the quality of it. Camstrup is the only meter manufacturer that publishes its failure rate. So in the United States, it's 1/4 of 1%. And that's graphic puts up there to put in perspective. Out of 1,000 meters, you may have 3 that may have to be sent back for some issue. So that's pretty phenomenal. If you were to ask another manufacturer, they probably wouldn't tell you what their failure rate is. One thing that's built within this that we've talked to, I think Mr. Lindsay and I talked about a little bit, we're the only meter manufacturer out there that has built into the meters acoustic leak detection. And what that is that meter is actually listening inside the water column, not just on the service side, but on the main side. So it's listening for the sound of a leak. And what that's doing is, again, that's allowing you to be proactive. So now we've got a tool that's billing accurately, but now we've got a tool that's listening. All the meters are listening, and it creates a noise value. So wherever the higher value is, that's going to give you a point of reference to start looking for that leak. Instead of saying, hey, we think we've got one here, let's go chase it, it's going to give you a really good starting point. So it's going to allow you, it's going to listen for those leaks. Leaks don't fix themselves. So what's going to happen is over time, that noise is going to get louder and louder and louder. And I've got a slide that talks about that. Some of the benefits on a new ultrasonic meter, you should start to see an increase of 10 to 15% in revenue. Now, over time, if your customers understand, everybody understands, our goal is to be good stewards of our resources. We understand that now these meters are accurate and they're capturing everything that's going through. They start to modify their behavior, right? Instead of turning that faucet on and leaving on while they shave or brush their teeth, they're cognizant of it. And so they become more efficient users of their water. Substantial operating savings. Again, if you're not having folks roll out to go and read meters, now you can reallocate those resources. Now you can have them go to a different department that may be lacking, or again, roll them to go find and fix leaks. Go ahead, that next one. Why does low flow matter? This is a graphic that shows on this one meter that 50% of the usage was below 1/10 of a gallon. And so if you have an old mechanical meter that's not capturing at least that low flow, there's 50% of that revenue on that one meter that wouldn't be picked up. Again, you're talking about non-billable water. You can go ahead and click through the next one. 15 process improvements. Different utilities based on different sizes are going to get something differently at it. Finance may say, hey, I see something here that catches my attention. If you look at some of these proactive alerts, all these meters have alerts. They have leak alerts, burst alerts, tamper alerts. These are sealed at the factory. If somebody were to go in and try to take the lid off them for some reason to tamper with it, you're going to get an alarm. You can get a hold of the police department, send somebody out there, or sheriff or whatnot. But if you get a leak alert, you can call that customer and say, hey, we see a possible leak at your home. You might want to go and see if you have a toilet running, or, oh, you know what? I turned my sprinklers on for the first time. That's why, you see a large spike in that. What else? Accurate moves in, move out, customer service issue resolution. So again, there's just every department can kind of benefit of the upgrade. Go into that next one. Reading Manager, just have a slide on here, Reading Manager. So you have your building software, but Reading Manager is the platform that takes all that information and has the alerts, has all the information for water usage. And you use that, integrate that with your building software. There'll be training. We do training in-person and virtual training on all of our new systems. Go ahead to the next one. Real quick, talk about different kinds of leaks. Reported leakage, right? Those are the easy ones. Those are the ones that propagate the surface. Those are the ones where you drive it and you see a puddle of water, you see a big green patch of grass, and everything else is brown. Those are the easy ones, right? But then you've got the unreported leaks. They don't come to the surface. They're not detectable, and then background leakage. So that's where that acoustic leak detection is really going to come into play, because majority of the leaks don't come to the surface. They're all subsurface. So if you have something that's listening in that water column that's helping you to get out and pinpoint those, again, your goal is to try to tighten up your water loss. These are some slides on acoustic leak detection. This is one that was on, this was in Ephrata, Pennsylvania. This was on a 12-inch main. It was 55 feet away from the meter. You can see this, the graphic there shows the noise value went from 0 spiked. So that's all of a sudden it's indicating that there's a leak. And you have that noise value continue to increase, then it's found, and then you can see when it's fixed. And the noise drops back to 0. Go ahead to the next one.
How do you know how far away is the
Well, in this case, they were able to pinpoint. They knew after listening and correlating the different meters, then they were able to use listening sticks and go down and determine exactly where it was, and then they measured it from the meter.
some way triangulating it from?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. This is a service line. This was in Oneida, Tennessee. This was estimated 4 gallons per minute. It had been running for 4 months. 777,000 gallons per minute was wasted, and leak was detected between was about 50 feet from the meter as well. So again, these were running. Acoustic leak detection picked it up. 777,000 gallons is a lot of water. Go ahead to the next one. As we kind of tie things up, our approach at Ferguson, we operate kind of a couple different ways. We do material only. The way we like to do it is we act as the prime on it. We'll start the project and carry it all the way through completion. So plan development, we work with utilities a lot of times. If they don't have an engineer, we'll work with them to determine what they need. Software integration, we've got a software team, as well as network infrastructure. And we go all the way through testing and training. We do that. We have follow-on training annually. We invite all of our customers and potential customers to come to our location, our water meter depots in San Marcos, Texas. So we keep a pretty substantial inventory there as well. So lead times are really not an issue. And we bring folks from Camstruck. We bring other customers around and give them an opportunity to sort of visit and talk about things that are working, and maybe some issues that they had to deal with. Just a great platform for everybody to get together. It's usually a couple of days. All the way through to transition and then ongoing support. So when a utility, we finish it up, then they get to see me because they're my account and I manage it for as long as I'm above ground. So myself and along with Chase. So we don't, I don't mean this to sound like a cliche, but I don't sell meters, I sell relationships. And that's really what it is. It's about a relationship that we're developing with a utility. And so we don't just put it in and then walk away. And so if we hit that next one.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
So the meter reads will automatically transfer to our billing system?
Yes, sir.
Will that be automatic?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then billing would be automatic too then, right? Would it be?
Billing already is automatic.
It's already.
So this
the information comes in,
how do they
so it'll be just automatically generated.
Yeah, so how do they, so in an AMI, so what happens is the radio is going to, or the meter is going to send a signal to a collector. And we have two potential locations where you have two water towers, one in the north and one on the south. You would put your collectors up. And so the meters are communicating to the collector via RF dedicated license frequency. From there, they're going to communicate to via cellular service to your billing office. And that's sending all that information.
So we don't even need to drive around and read the meters.
No, sir. The goal of this is you put them in and you're no longer driving around reading meters. You're driving around fixing water.
Or
Being allocated to something.
no, which is, that's 100%.
Can I add a little bit to that?
Absolutely.
So just to let you know though, that if you do have a catastrophic event, like let's just say a tornado or something like that that knocks out the communication on the water tower, you still have the ability to have a backup drive-by route.
Okay.
That's called our fallback. It's just in case you have a catastrophic event. However, the way this system is designed, we can cover your entire system with one collector. The reason why we put up two is just in case one gets knocked out. Then the other one isn't double redundancy. We design them that way to make sure that you got double redundancy. Another thing I wanted to bring up, Mr. James, if you don't mind, David, I know I'm stomping all over you.
Oh, no.
So, Mr. James, the way that the acoustic leak detection works is it wakes up 26 times a day and it takes a listen. Then it dumps the top loudest 25 because there might be false positives, right? It takes the lowest one and it trends it over time. It uses machine learning to be able to say, okay, you're staying pretty steady. You're about the norm, no issues. Or you're steadily increasing and getting louder and louder. That means you got a leak here. Now, it doesn't correlate, okay, but it does triangulate. In other words, every meter that hears that will throw it up, and you can compare them side by side on the same graph and have blue line, yellow line, green line, purple line, and you can see that trend, and then you can go, okay, this one here's the loudest. That leak is closest to that meter right there.
Will it show that on a map?
Yes, sir. It's all mapped and graphed. Just for signals of time, we didn't show you that, but we can. We can provide you with all that information. We just need to keep it tight tonight. Y'all's time frame, we didn't want to overwhelm you with information. We can provide that.
So who in our world is going to monitor that data? Is that a JD job? Is that a?
I think it'd be a group, in my opinion, I think it'd be a group effort between Tammy and JD.
Okay, I'm just asking, if
Yeah.
Data's great, but if you don't analyze the data,
Absolutely.
it doesn't do you any good.
No, I think where I was thinking is that she would be able to monitor it, kind of see where things are going, because they say it seems to be super user friendly.
Yes.
So where then if there's questions or concerns, and then she can bring it up to public.
Right,
Department.
it's gonna send some sort of alert that's gonna say, hey, go look at this.
Yes.
And, right, okay, I just wanna know, do we have an idea in our world who's
That's-
going to
that's
do
where I
that
was
data
thinking it would-
analysis?
That's where I think it would lie there, where it can be monitored.
Okay.
She's kind of a pro at where her meters are and where things are at.
Sure,
The interface software creates a platform that's pretty easy. It's meters of interest. Click. Poof, there's your map. There's your red dots. There's the ones you look at.
You're not sifting through 3,000 meters.
You're not-
Right, exactly.
Camshaft's gonna tell you, here's your 20 meters of interest that have high noise value, that have leaks. Here's where you need to focus your attention on.
And the nice thing is a lot of utilities do a leak detection survey once a year or once every couple of years or something like this. This is basically the equivalent of doing a leak detection service daily for the next 20 years. So whenever you fix one, what we see a lot of the time is you fix one and guess what? 6 months later, it might start happening again. You know what I mean? Because of a bad repair or a bad repair clamp or whatever the case may be. So it's a constant looking at your system.
You have a lot of time on your hands with all this.
Lots of things can get done now.
Yeah. Frees you up to do stuff like valve exercising, hydrant flushing, testing, all the things that you're always backed up on. When's the last time you did it?
Does it work on a cell phone as an app too? Or?
It does, yes, sir. It works off an Android platform. Well, it has an app, yeah. So he can be out in the field.
run it out the door right now, don't even bring it in.
One other thing is that we work with some third-party folks. there's one software called H2O Analytics. And what that is, that allows you, the city, to set up notifications to send out via text or email, but it's also a customer portal. So a customer can log in and check their account and see exactly what they're using and be proactive that way. Instead of waiting 30 days and get your bill going, oh my gosh, what happened? You can log in immediately and go, oh, maybe I do need to go back and see there's a toilet back here nobody checks on or whatnot.
Very similar to the electric company does that today.
Yeah, yeah.
Right,
So
ABC
yeah,
does that for us today.
yeah.
Does it change the billing system too, or is it the same?
No, use the same bill.
No.
So they would, we would work together to integrate the data that we would get from the meters through FundView. And FundView does have several options that they've worked with, so we just need to make sure that they all work together and or find a system that works. Find a way to make it work.
So JD, I have a really silly question. How accurate do we feel like the meter is that sucks out of the lake into our tank? And provides us with, because we pay a bill to Sabine for the amount of water that we take out of the lake. And then we in turn look at that, we in turn treat that water, send it down to houses and businesses. And, you know, how accurate is the meter that we read or that they read to tell us how much we're pulling out of the lake that we're paying a bill on before we invoice for treated water?
For me, I feel like the amount of water that comes through there at the speed it comes, I feel like it's hard to be completely accurate with all the mechanical parts. All the moving parts in there, I don't know how it keeps up with the amount of water. I can
You
tell
think
you,
it's in our favor there?
What size of meter is it? What size of meter is it?
2 inch, I believe.
And if it's just humming, it's never stopping.
What we've seen a lot of utilities do, put a side-by-side meter compared to whoever's cell them. They put a meter right next to it. That way they know what they're actually buying. If that
Right
makes
down.
sense.
That's why I asked the
And you have
question.
both meters.
That's why I asked the question. Yeah.
There's a lot of, that way there's a lot of checks and balances to make sure everybody's being.
I don't think it's dishonesty. I think it's inaccuracy.
Yes.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
You're absolutely.
So, you know, if our goal is to be as accurate as we can for our customers, then we should be as accurate as we can as a customer.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions?
Generally, another
Looking
thing.
at a sample with them,
What's the cost per
we're
meter?
doing 15, how does that look? Are there questions we need to be answering about that, or sounding like there's gonna be software and all
Plus,
this other
there's
stuff?
meter plus software plus.
I have a question.
Yeah, I need a call.
So we generally put together an entire package, instead of just giving a price per meter, like you were saying, ma'am, that there's software, there's integration, there's training, there's project management, there's installation. So we'll put together an entire package.
Okay.
Now, another thing that's nice is, I want you guys to keep this into consideration, because this is where it comes back to all the constituents, all the people that y'all report to in y'all's utility, is that these systems generally pay for themselves in 2 to 5 years, okay? Because of the accuracy, then they turn around and they're benefiting y'all guys. Now, also, like David said, is that you see a change in mentality over time of the actual end users, because they just become more conscious about dripping their water or something like that. Let me give you a perfect example. I went into my church yesterday to fix some stuff, and I met with Carol, the property member, and guess what? We're dripping faucets, and it's not even freezing. Why? Because we don't care. Our meter's not even picking it up, right? Well, that's not being good stewards, right? So you see a lot of change in mentality like that when it comes to putting in, because now we are catching more accurately.
And I know it's hard to talk about conservation when lakes are full, but we know that there are times when we go through periods. I lived in Wichita Falls for quite a few years, and about 7 years ago, we got to the point where both of our lakes, we had to do some drastic measures in recycling our waters. And so, of course, we had some great rains and filled everything up, and nobody wanted to talk about water conservation after that. But I think it's, again, we all got to be good stewards of probably our most important resource. And so that's our goal, is to help utilities become better stewards and users as well.
So it's a 2 to 5 year payback?
Yeah, I actually gave, I don't know if you guys have seen, we did a financial benefits analysis, and I think initially on some of the preliminary numbers had it paid back in about 2.8 years, something like that, so just under 3 years.
And that's a combination of meter accuracy, and as well as, reduction of water loss, as well as reallocation of utility employees. I mean, reduction of carbon footprint, all those things.
Oh, that's how do we pay for it? Do we pay in the beginning, or is it paid over a period of time? Or?
So we don't do financing on it, but we have some folks that we partnered with. Government Capital is one, and I believe they've done some projects with you guys. Matter of fact, most recently, I think that's where you got your police cruisers from.
Yeah.
And then there's Sustainability Partners. They are not a traditional third-party lender, but they have some programs out there as well. And so we would just get you in touch with those folks. I know with Government Capital, one of their benefits is for that first year, there's no payments. So it allows that utility to recoup as much revenue as possible. And then on year 2, then you'd make your first payment. They're annual payments, and then you can set up the terms, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, 11, whatever you think you need. But we do a lot with, I think Zeb said he's done hundreds with Government Capital. So they are really good partners to work with on projects like this and other projects that cities have.
We have a good relationship with government capital.
Yeah. And just so you know, we don't invoice until we report. We don't invoice even Government Capital. Like, let's just say they traditionally get the money, put it in an escrow account, and they won't pay us until the work's done. So we'll buy the product, then we'll invoice y'all guys, then they would pay that.
You release it.
We would install X amount on a monthly basis, do a pay application at the end of the month, invoice, and then they would pay that amount. So there is no upfront payment.
David, you talked about bringing some, maybe 10 meters out, setting them out so we can see the difference between our
Yes, sir.
meters and those.
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the plan would be to just send JD 10 residential meters and just let him put them in the ground. And if he had room, maybe put them in series with the existing. That way you could see what your current meter's picking up and not picking up along with the new meter. And so again, that's just, and then after 30 or so days, then we can pull that data and you can see exactly what's being lost.
But that's just how you gonna read that. Is that a manual read?
Yes, sir.
Compare the number. Okay.
Yeah, for the setup like this would be a manual.
We can also do what's called a histogram. So that one, would you mind go back to the histogram? So after we put a meter in place, like let's take an old mechanical one out at your house, and we put in one of these, then after however long, 30 days, we can come back and run that report on that meter. And it'll tell you exactly where it's flowing in how much usage in each flow range. So you'll notice, try to read it like this: 0.0 to 0.04, to 0.04, 0.04 to 0.09, 0.09 to 0.49, 0.49 to 0.74. So then you can see any water that is in those top 2 buckets is picking up water usage lower than any mechanical meter on the market. Brand new right out of the box. That's not just over time. So then, I mean, if you wanted to, we could, or y'all could have some of y'all's meters, the same 10 meters, send them off to a third party company, have them tested, find out what that loss is, and then, or how inaccurate they are. Then you can literally do a side-by-side comparison on this is how inaccurate these mechanical meters are, this is how accurate these are, this is the amount of water we're picking up due to both differences. Let me give you a good example. So whenever we did this exact same study for El Paso, Texas, which by the way, we're 140,000 out of 225,000 installed right now, they determined that 14% was picked up in the low flow range and 14% was picked up due to old meter inaccuracy. So a total of 27% pickup just off of changing from an old mechanical to a new ultrasound. And they published that in actually one of their meetings.
So if we're have a 20% 70% loss now, that means we have zero.
Well,
El Paso's gone from 19% down to 9% water loss.
yeah, with just half of the system done. But where it's not just, when we talk about revenue and return on investment, stuff like that, but it's also helping y'all with y'all's status with TCQ, right? Water loss, non-accounted for water. So take that into consideration as well. I have no clue where y'all guys are at with that, but we've seen dramatic losses or dramatic changes going from utilities that were losing 20, 30. I mean, we're getting ready to start a project. I kid you not, where the Ford utility has 50% water loss. We're getting ready to start that project to try to help them reduce it. Yeah. There's some bad ones in Texas. Yeah.
Anything else?
Up to me.
You other good?
No questions.
All in favor?
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you,
I
guys.
want to thank y'all. Yes, thank you very
Thank
much.
you, guys.
And we're sorry for taking a little bit.
No, you're good.
No.
So continuing on with the legacy project, and
Okay, I'm gonna
continuing on with that.
pause that thought, because I want to hook this up for you guys.
Okay, perfect.
And
Okay,
y'all-
so, okay.
Well, I was just gonna say, thank y'all again. If y'all have any questions, so feel free to reach out.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time.
See you later. Okay, so the whiteboard is in the hallway now. I have put everything up here and I have it broke down by each person. So like right now we're still talking about Ramsey's. Still a work in progress. If I have better ideas on how to work this out, I can.
So if you go to Ramsey's, the water line, the water meter project. All right.
So like we were kind of more in a data collection state. We're collecting data. And as we go further, I can change the progress. I actually can put our next steps of what's happened, what we're gonna do next, and then where it's going. It's always gonna give me a last updated. So as soon as I click on something else here, it's gonna update what data did this on.
You make it bigger. Zoom in.
So if you were to take his, like right now, and that presentation would be on there. And
Yes.
then
So then we gotta figure out what would be
what's the
our
next steps?
To me, the next step is how do we do it? How do we buy it?
Yeah. How do we-
I mean, you gotta have costs. Have we done the data? Do we know what it's gonna cost us?
Well, he's gonna put together, I think they're gonna
Yeah,
put together a proposal for us on what it's gonna cost to do.
So it sounds to me, before we even look at samples and wasting any time there, we gotta kind of know what that number is gonna be to know where and if we can go anywhere with it. Y'all agree?
Yeah.
So that would be your next step on that project is to be getting the pricing from them.
Yeah, I think we gotta get a quote and then figure out how we pay for it.
See if there's any funding or grants would.
Yep, then we bring that price back here and figure out where to go with it from there. Everybody agree?
Yep.
Yeah.
And you've been the main contact with him? So you'll follow up and make sure to be getting a request for that. And if he doesn't have it to us by the next meeting, then you'll be able to update, spoke with him, we're still waiting on it.
Right.
Okay. All right, since we're on yours, what else is under yours?
Wide Maze Lane?
Wyden Maze Lane,
Um,
it'll give the update of basically what we've done.
Yeah, so I sent just a high level explanation of that project, just an overview to, the folks at TCEQ. I'm sorry, Texas Water Development Board. And they have referred me, to the folks in their, flood. I sent that to the flood infrastructure fund. And she pointed out that to be eligible for funding through that flood infrastructure fund, we need to be in the state flood plan. And she said that can be a lengthy process. To get in that, we have to be approved by a regional flood planning group and added to the regional plan. And she has referred me to a Katie Coughlin, who I have reached out to yesterday. I have not heard back from her yet. And we'll see what we can do. They did suggest that we make it more of a regional thing rather than just Mays Lane, Rabbit Cove. And maybe we can take care of the, maybe we can include that area that's further west. It's up, it's over through that area where that, what street's Nikki live on? You remember, Craig? I can't remember the name of the street, but there's some things.
Right outside the city limits. It's
Quill Run?
Oh, Nikki?
Yeah.
As in behind Circle K?
Quill Run.
Quill Run.
Okay, she sent me some pictures of her walking through knee-deep water. And so they suggested that we make this more of a regional project rather than just the two roads that I included in that initial project. So that's where I am with the Mays Lane.
But just some of the proactive stuff that we've done, we did have a mutual aid agreement with the county, came in and cut the trees back. Public Works has been working on getting the ditches cleaned up. We're gonna do some additional work to the tree line and to getting more trash picked up out there. But that's just being proactive, whether we're able to work this out or not, that need to be done so we can see water flow and all that, so. All right.
What do we want to see
So
as next
what's
steps?
the next step there?
The next step is for me to stay on this until I get with the Katie Coughlin and find out what they're going to require from us. I do, Jacob Martin and
Public management.
public management had mentioned that they had sent out some tips, and I'm not sure if that might be something that's already on this. So I've asked Mary to get those for me, so I can see what's already out there, so we don't step on something that they're doing.
Okay.
Or maybe we need to get them to modify what.
I haven't looked at them to you after this meeting.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so next one down.
Health insurance.
I talked to Robert yesterday and day before. We've given him census. We've given him our group information so he can compare apples to apples. He has reached out to some various underwriters. Aetna wanted our tax ID number. They won't do a quote without that, so we got that to him. I may have a quote from him by our next regular meeting. He said that once he gets some of these quotes back, he does want to sit with Mary and I to talk about some detail. And he said he will come out and present at the meeting once he has that.
Sounds like next steps there, you're waiting on quotes to come back.
Yes.
And possible a presentation, okay?
Yeah.
Short-term rental?
Short-term rental. Shannon had talked to John, and he may be able to come and talk to us if we need. We've already gone through here. We've gone through some of the basics of what he's going to give us, what he's going to provide. At this point, I really, with that, I would recommend that we move forward with it.
He will actually be at our council meeting on Tuesday to present.
So there you go. Next steps will be Tuesday's presentation.
is this working as a platform to make sure everybody sees it? And I'll share this board with everybody so everybody can kind of see it.
Okay.
When we go back to,
Yeah, you can just go back to whatever number one is up there.
Dad, you're up.
I'm up.
Aaron, what's your first one? That's yours. Did everybody else get these?
I need one. One paper's coming around.
Oh, they're coming around?
So, me and JD and Burkett and the HOA president there, they met on Saturday and kind of came up with a game plan of how we're gonna do it. Basically, what we did this week was come up with kind of a material list for phase A. That's what I just passed out to you guys. One thing we probably need to look at is getting a trencher. I think the cost of renting a trencher is gonna be way more than what it costs us to buy one.
Yeah, I found several of them that cost as much as renting one for a month.
Yep.
I mean, they're used, obviously, but.
Right. We're gonna do it in 2 phases, right? JD?
Yes.
2 phases. Now, the 6-inch main, that's all the main pipe for both phases? Okay.
No. That's
Just for phase 1?
phase one.
Phase A, okay. And then we're doing a total of 5 fire hydrants?
That's all, both phases,
Both phases.
the 5
That's
fire
not
hydrants.
just for phase one.
Yeah,
There's gonna be what, 2 hydrants on phase 1? 3 hydrants.
3 because you gotta replace the one up front.
Right now, they got 1, I think, total.
Yeah.
Yes. And then the rest is the gate valves, mechanical tees, and bedding material. The only thing we don't really know is the dirt work afterwards, what it's gonna be, or the labor costs.
So if I'm looking at what you're calling phase 1 here, other than the mistake on the fire hydrants, materials is $91,000.
Right.
So if you take 3,500 times 3 out of that,
We took $10,500 out of that, it comes down to 80,000 roughly.
And how big is phase 1, like the area, how much are we covering?
phase 1 would be the main line all the way down Arrowhead.
Right.
And tying in all the
Tying
houses
all
on Arrowhead.
How many feet is that?
What was that, 26,
2000?
2,604?
Is that it? Okay. Okay. So that kind of gives you phase 1. Can we do the same thing to figure out, are we doing all the rest of it in phase 2? And what are we looking at on cost on that?
We start to figure that out.
Okay. So,
We'll have that by Tuesday.
good. Okay, so I guess you're up here on the board, we would be looking at phasing the project and costs. Okay, perfect.
When it says labor costs are excluded,
We don't know what the,
so do we have to put a value on it, or because it's city
If our
labor?
public works are doing it, no.
I'm just making sure there wasn't something coming in afterwards, you know what I mean?
right,
If we're not excluding the labor costs, we just don't have it.
right.
We don't have any inward above our current costs.
Nothing's contracted out.
Right. And then the dirt work after, explain that to me. You said that we don't really know what the dirt work after is gonna cost.
Just put everything back, right?
Just when I put everything back, any damages or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So you're looking at needing additional dirt, is that what I'm hearing?
No, we'll have the proper amount of dirt.
So then that'd just be
That's
part
where
of
that's where the base
labor.
stabilization,
Okay.
yeah.
That would just be part of the labor then.
Okay, I'm just, like, do we need equipment to do dirt work after?
Probably need to buy it.
Because we did use Grady for a lot of the dirt work up there, right? So is that something we're gonna also need to do? Are we gonna use Grady for, is that cost somewhere in here? Is that $40,000?
Part of the 40.
Okay, all right. I just heard dirt work we don't know.
Yeah.
Meaning there's a variable there.
So is he gonna bring the dirt out and spread it, or?
Okay.
So what, do we have some risk with, for example, we go trenching through there and we cut, Frontiers line?
Well, I mean, we'd have to locate it first.
So yeah,
I know
that's,
I know you locate it.
But yeah, they're, I mean,
They're gonna be,
that's always gonna be a risk though.
I will cut it a few times, but there.
I like it.
Yeah, right, right,
it's
right.
Chad's project, so.
He's got it.
Mine was cut like 5 times.
I could, let's.
Yeah.
Well, but Frontier didn't necessarily lay their lines exactly where they claimed to be laid either. That was part of an issue. They're not,
It's all part of it.
they're not
It's all part of the
100%
fun.
accurate.
It's all part of the fun.
Okay, so if we can go back and look at phase 2, so we have a total cost of the project, and then we can sit down and figure out how we can fund what we want to put in place. Can we come up with a way to do it? Or do we need to go find money from somewhere to help us? Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Highway 276 speed limit change?
I haven't done anything with anything else yet. Whatever.
What are you looking at that needs to be done there? Is there something somebody can help? What do you see?
I haven't even started looking at it yet.
Okay. You want to spend some time? We'll sit down and figure out what we need to do?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's your next steps. He and I will sit down and figure out what direction we need to try to start that program at. Next one is Highway 276 lighting. Is that the red light or is that lights up and down 276?
Both.
Both? So
There's an overlap there, right?
there's an overlap because you're looking at street lights. I
Street
think
lights,
yours
mine
was
was red light.
Yours is the red light.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so anything on that?
Yeah, not yet.
So let's do the same thing. You and I will sit down and figure out who we need to reach out to, where we need to go, what avenues we can deal with. Okay?
The red light is at Maze Lane, right?
Yes. All right. New post office.
Still haven't done anything with that yet.
Okay. So same thing there. Just find some time, hit me up. We'll take them one at a time and go through it and figure out who we can get to help us.
I'll just keep going on.
Just whenever you're ready to go to the next one.
All right. I may not be. Okay, so now on to Greg.
Park upgrade volunteers.
So park upgrades and volunteers, we are ready to throw at you guys, and we're on the agenda for next Tuesday night. Budget requirements and initial projects. Everything's going exactly as planned and as scheduled. So we're ready to present to you on Tuesday. I'll show you what we want to do to start with. I've had a couple meetings with both EDC and Mary about budget dollars, what it's going to take, what's in the budget, what's not in the budget, yada, yada, yada. We'll be ready to go on Tuesday night and present that to you.
Okay.
And hopefully get a vote on that on Tuesday night.
All right.
White and Maze Lane.
What if we just take that one off because you already have
Yeah,
it, so we're
yes.
not double hitting?
Yeah,
So Mary, if
take
you'll
that
just
one off of mine.
Okay,
I mean, y'all can work together on it, but we don't need to hit it more than once in a meeting.
got it.
Audit catch up. We have a couple of different meetings that are through. Mary gave us a progress report last meeting, and we're waiting on one form to be filled out. That's gonna, the challenge with filling it out has been handled. So we're gonna get it filled out, and then we'll get to the next level of the budget thing.
Basically, we're getting information for the auditors currently.
Yes, they were waiting on one form from us, and that's been addressed and should be handled in the next day or two.
Okay.
And once that one gets done, then they can move forward with what it is. Go ahead,
I
Cameron.
do have some comments here. So when we look at all these companies like Apple and $500 billion company, they do this, audit in 1 year. They work in 180 countries. They still do it in 1 year. We have a few $1 million spent and, we're 3 years behind. Is it possible that they're incompetent? If that's the case, I mean, why you continue to make them?
So I don't disagree with you at all.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm in a position to be able to call them incompetent at this point,
Yeah.
but I think we're getting that information. I think we're gathering that data that says, okay, we've provided you with all of the things that you need to be able to do our audit and do it in a timely manner, and you have failed. That's when it's time for us to maybe do something different or make a change. But I think that we challenged them with less than complete information. And then we did not create requirements from them that they perform better than they did. And I think we have made that, I think we've made that agreement now that it is time for them to perform, and that if they are waiting on something from us, that we will provide that in a very timely manner. And I would say I would think by about the second quarter of this year, if we're not in agreement with where we are, at that point, we're going to start looking at, maybe you're not going to do our next audit, right? I mean, but I think we got to give them every opportunity to perform at the level we expect. But I think that the challenges we placed on them by not giving them complete and total information, we gave them an excuse. And I think they use that excuse as their minimal level of performance. But I think we have to perform at a level that says, here's our expectation, and put that expectation on them, and then give them the opportunity to either perform or us find some other alternative audit option.
Give that as an option.
It's 100% an option.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's 100% an option, and they should know that. If they're
Or make it clear.
Yeah, I think we have made it pretty clear to them that their performance is being viewed right now as to whether or not it will be ongoing in the future will be based on how well they perform through the end of the 26 budget, because we've talked about that pretty extensively. So I don't disagree with you. I just don't think we're in a position yet to be able to cut bait and run in a catfish term.
Sounds like expectation, the next steps, you've given them expectations. Can we come up with a date that says they guarantee to have, what year are we working on right now?
Well, I don't want to say guarantees.
Yeah.
There's no guarantees on anything. Our goal is to be, by the end of 2026, to be doing end of year
26.
End of year 26.
So that means they've got to complete 21, 22, 22, 23, 23, 24. And I would say that, second quarter, they've got to have one or two, they've got to have 21, 22 complete. It's got to be, because we can't apply for grants without it. A lot of the grants we want, we can't apply for without it. So I would say next steps is to review progress.
A certain date. There you go.
Yeah, let's say second quarter is April 1. So let's say the April council meeting,
That April regular session?
April regular session on the agenda, review audit performance and current status. Perfect.
They should at least finish 21, 22, 23, 24.
Got to have 20, 21, 22. We're so far behind, we can't apply for some of the grants that we want to apply for. Social media presence, have not done anything, but I did have a couple of conversations about newsletters and newspapers, and I think that those are going to.
We do have a newsletter already going out monthly.
Yeah, we do, and that's actually nice.
I would not say it's on a full rollout phase. We're still working it out to figure out what works and what's the best delivery for it.
it's good, it's good to have information that's available online. My thought on social media presence is we need more, touches and more engagement. And, you know, that's not my forte, but we can certainly find people whose it is. And so, you know, that, to be honest, that's, you know, it's down the list, but it's in the list. So I'm not going to have something on everything, every day. The new elementary school, unless you had a question, I heard you start to say
No,
something.
well, I would just like to put something on there.
I don't know that I have something to put down on that. I don't know that I have a progress piece on that because I just don't. You know, there's a limited supply of bandwidth, and I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna move the needle on everything every time. So the new elementary school, the only thing I've done on that is learned in the last 10 days that Quinlan ISD is looking for land donations. And so if anybody has any land, all y'all out there in the World Wide Web, if any of you have 15 or 20 acres you'd like to donate to have a school built on, I think we could probably arrange that to be done.
Did they come up with have you heard of an expectation, how much they need?
No, but it's going to be an elementary school.
I'd say that'd be the next question is to figure out
How much they want, and is there something that we could figure out a way that we could do here in town? Because it would really be nice if we could find a way to have the 300 or 400 elementary school kids that we have in West Tawakoni not have to take a bus at 6 a.m. every morning.
Absolutely.
So it sound like next steps is to try to reach out and figure out how much land they need.
How much land do they want? I will make that phone call tomorrow.
So if y'all see, I don't know if I've explained it very well on this, I'm putting, as I'm updating it, it's slowly updating. I'm putting who, like the next responsible party,
Yes.
like who it is. So for example, the audit catch-up, that's gonna fall on city staff and the auditor, so it's not really falling on council to do something next. And then we'll just kind of see like that slowly pops up as it gets there. If y'all see that I need to change something as we're going through it, let me know. And I'm just gonna leave this as a shared project. I'm not gonna put anything as any updates because it's already updated further up, and we're just gonna know.
It'd be too hard to take it out.
I don't want to take it off because
Okay.
then we'll lose it. So I don't want to say this is a done deal because we want to be able to say this.
Well,
works.
you wouldn't be losing it if you already have it under.
I have it on another project as another project. I can delete it off of his if we want to.
I think it's better to take it off of mine, let Ramsey run with it on his.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then if Ramsey needs help or needs something from me on it, I will certainly be available to help him do it.
It'll stop it from being just an empty line, so we see progress on everything.
How about that?
Perfect.
Love it. Okay. So that was Wyatt's. Oh, there's Greg's done there. 3. So how about 4? Do we finish on that?
Go back to my elementary school and put in there that site donation is requested by Quinlan ISD.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay. The keyboard over there. Here.
That's good. It's just so there's something on there that changes the color.
Yeah, so that's why the
it's
data
easier for me to-
collection. Yeah.
If not started, doesn't count.
Yeah. So definitely under data collection. Anything good there? Yes. No. Maybe.
No, we're good.
Yep, we're good.
James, you're up.
I'll start with street lights.
Okay.
Street lights, the public works and Mary did put in a lot of time into it. I got the list today. There are about 255 street electric poles in 276 Maze Lane and Rabbit Cove combined. Maze 276 has, I think, 40 some street lights already, so the remaining has to be done. So I'm going to take that list and talk to FEC and say what they recommend. They may have some kind of a norm saying that if we were to do street lights, we may do every other one or third one, whatever that is. So I'll ask them what they recommend. and then ask them to give us a few options. By street. So we'll try to do, let's see the pricing. Let's see the pricing, let's see the time management phase.
Okay,
So,
you've
I will
gotten the
make the-
data on how many poles.
Yes.
Now you're gonna go back and work with FEC on recommendations and then go into pricing
And the
options.
pricing option.
What about doing,
So
like,
I'll
some
make a
solar,
phone
like-
call probably Monday or so.
So like solar downtown lights, it's gonna be like a downtown area where they put up like the flags and stuff for like holidays or parades or whatever.
Kind of my goal with the downtown grade, if, once we get that process going
But
through.
at least we'll have a pricing, when you have the grant, we'll have a pricing for it. So we can take out 276 out of it. So we'll have options. So that's that.
But your next steps, you're gonna work with FEC on options of pricing. Okay.
Go back to first one, Highway 276. So this one, I wanted to make it a combined project with Ramsey. So the reason for that project is that when Ramsey and I did the door-to-door campaign, so when we went to the community at the end of private call, someone said, hey, we would like to have this. So he told that to both of us. Now we put in my name, but then one of the citizens reached out to Ramsey, same, and she gave you a lot of information, which I haven't seen it, but you have it. So I think it makes sense for us to combine, join together and do it.
Yeah, and I can tell you that I've received some emails. It finally wound up with Brian Toole, County, and he said, he asked, what is our schedule, say, mid-January, so we could sit down and talk, and I told him that you and I would like to do that. Maybe others would be there. And I've emailed him back, and I don't have a response yet. My last email to him was
Just keep me in the loop too.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do it together.
Okay, so it sounds like,
But we're gonna work with Ramsey and Hunt County to set up a meeting.
that next steps is working with Hunt County
What was that for?
to see what their plan is.
That's to talk about getting secondary exit from the weather code area.
We're gonna do it better.
What is that? What is that?
Gonna do
Like
it,
our
Barry.
ferry, boat motor.
Boat rides across.
That'd be fun.
Hey, if things get bad, that's about the only way to do it now. Airboat.
Um,
All right,
Train,
so,
elevator, train.
Copy me on that. Put Brian on it. All right.
The city hall, was that in my list? Or did you put it?
No, that new city hall's been on your list. You agreed to it in the beginning.
it's still written on the list for you.
Leave it
We're
in
putting
there.
all our hope in your buckets there.
Put it in there, we'll work on it too.
So there's no current updates. Maybe
I'm
we
just gonna
can
leave it
sit down and see what the options are to go out there, look. You wanna
Let's
reach
just
out and
talk
spend
about
some
it
time.
a little bit before I come up with all of it myself, so we need a new city hall, that's not a question, we need to answer, but we need the money though. So one of the things I think we should look at is to sell some of the land we have. We come up with an agreement as to what can be sold and things like that. And then acquire some land or use the land we have where the EDC building is, 1300, in front of the
City
park. We have some land there too. I think we have land up to the VFW, right? All of that.
So you really haven't done a whole.
I haven't done anything.
So let's
I
do the
don't
same
even know
thing.
you
Why
wasn't
don't you-
list.
You and I, let's sit down and kind of go through some options. And so hope to have an update for the next council meeting on some
Yeah,
options of steps to do.
You do realize next council meeting is Tuesday, right?
So we'll go through it and I'll take whatever I can
We're
do.
buying lunch tomorrow, right?
That's all.
You can get a hot dog.
Hot dogs, golf course.
All right.
I'm gonna
Okay.
put that one, you wanna leave that one as not started?
Yeah, currently it's not started.
Okay.
Well, if you remember correctly, this is supposed to be one thing and we all came in with a list.
Yeah, but we
So-
put the list out
But
there.
I think that's great. I mean, there's, even if all you do is take small steps, it's still small steps that are in the right direction.
Exactly what I said earlier today.
Some of these things are gonna take 3-4 years to come to fruition, so, And, you know, some of them aren't gonna end because we did something.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They're just gonna be ongoing.
If you don't start, then it's not gonna happen. Yeah, it'll happen. Some of it will happen, definitely.
Can you trade chairs with Lee for a moment?
I'd be glad to. You don't like that squeak?
No.
I don't either.
We'll have a new chair very soon.
Thank you.
All right, before we move on to number 7, any other updates on the legacy project anybody wants to put out there? Okay,
I will share this, or find a way to share this with all of you guys and send y'all emails so y'all can kind of see where it's at.
and then some of this stuff as we're going through, if we're getting it to her before the meeting, she will be able to get it updated and on there. So
Look, there's even a spot for place 5.
place 5 ever gets seated.
We'll get there, right? We'll get there.
All right, so we're gonna back up here to number 6. City administrator recruitment progress. Discussion and action on progress of the recruitment of city administrator, possible executive session. You want to basically go through any updates? Do we need to go into executive session?
Well, I won't name any names. Unless we go in.
Yeah.
But we have interviewed now, the two that we interviewed this round, right? And we've interviewed 2 this round. I think at this point, I'd like to recommend that the council look at these 2.
So those are shortlisted too, right? Both of them?
Yeah, these are, there's a couple that we interviewed that were, you know, sounded, they met all the qualifications, they met the requirements that we have.
So we've interviewed 2. We have a third
We have-
interview
we
set
have-
up.
Yes, we have a third one now,
Monday.
and that's for Friday.
Monday.
Monday.
And the 2 that we've currently interviewed, we want to go back and set up a second interview with full council.
Timeline you want for me? Y'all want to, I mean,
As
I
soon
don't
as
think-
possible.
well, I would say, given some things, I don't know that Tuesday would be beneficial. Be ideal for those to be here.
Tuesday, not before a council meeting.
Okay, I think to keep it where it's clean, I think that the interview should be in an executive session during a regular meeting, whether it's during a regular session or a special session. That meets the quorum requirements, no extra things are taken care of, and y'all have the ability to take some action after said interview, should y'all decide to. So that makes the process quicker, cleaner, streamlined.
So when you're setting up the interview, try to set it up on a date that a council meeting is already.
Yes.
That'll be the 13th, right? Next Tuesday.
Well,
I don't know that she can get it by then.
I don't think
because-
we can-
What were the
we also
qualifications?
already posted that agenda.
yeah, well, no, that agenda is still, I mean,
That
the
agenda's
agenda is
already
already
done.
standing, it's available, it's there. The question is on availability on the candidates, if I can get them here. I mean, I'm gonna be asking them on a Friday to be here on a Tuesday at an in-person meeting.
Okay, so currently you have next Tuesday. What have we already preset in the future?
That was the last one. Like today was the last special session that we scheduled.
So I would recommend that we go ahead and schedule another one for the following Tuesday, giving her the chance to try to set those interviews up during that Tuesday.
Right.
Right.
So
Yep.
follow me and agree?
I still got one
20th, I can't be here, but that's. I mean, I don't
Yes,
have-
you're out of town.
I'm out of town that week.
The week of the 20th.
I'm out of town the week.
You gotta cancel it. Cancel out of town.
Well, as it stands right now, it's not guaranteed I'm going. But
So
it's-
what qualifications did they meet that we had on the list?
Admin, grant,
What do you have the paperwork with what they scored without being able to give names and all that?
don't know if I brought that with me.
I just don't want to put out names over the.
may have.
So,
Hey, Mary, why did you switch the chairs?
why?
Because it's
Because it was squeaking so loud, I had people that were listening that were asking me to
That's it.
switch them.
They knew it was Randy.
Yeah, well, they see every time I move. So we, just while he's searching, and everybody's aware, we already tentatively had our special session for the 27th as our bi-weekly meeting. I can try to get them to come on the 27th. Or do we want to go ahead and, I mean, because Greg's gonna be gone the week, the 19th or the 23rd. I think he would really like
It's
to
not
be
sure,
here.
he said, so keep it on for 20th.
So do the
And we can
27th?
cancel it. And do 20 and 27 both. Right, and then we cancel
I mean,
it.
I agree. If you can schedule them for the 20th, okay. If not, we can always cancel that meeting.
Okay, that's fine. What we'll do is I'm gonna have it kind of a standing special session looking just like so.
Yep.
Without number 8, but just the main
Yep.
2, 6.
Yep.
Okay. So we are going to. We got our Thursday. Bless you.
So while he's doing that,
Yeah,
since
we're
we
telling
didn't,
them that can schedule 20th also. If you are not here, then we
I can do it, I can probably do it from the phone.
I was gonna say I can teams
I
with
can- yeah.
so we didn't go into executive session. We can go ahead and put in a motion to have her set up the meeting, interviews with the 2 candidates.
Do y'all have anything else you want to discuss on that though? On the progress, I know he was searching.
We make a motion to 20th and 27th. Should I do that or no?
I would just go to the 20th at this point, but give him just a minute. He's still searching to try to answer a question for us.
on the 20th motion for the 27th.
Now you gotta do it before that. Then give us enough time. We do it on the 20th, we can't do wishing for 27th.
20.
We do both then now.
It's not necessary.
Yeah.
We've already had the bi-weekly meetings.
Yeah, we would already have one on the 27th.
So,
Was you able to find it?
I have found one that we did not like, I did find one. I might have 3 here.
When you say did not like, we didn't score high.
Right, I didn't like the score. I have 3 here.
You should have
And
3.
I have the scores.
Okay. So the 2 that we are wanting to interview scored what? Out of the 35.
One of them scored 34.
How much having experience have they had?
And one scored 29.
29 out of 35 and 34 out of 35. And they're both experienced around grants.
They've actually gotten grants or just wrote applications.
These have got. I don't have the resumes attached to these, so I can't answer how their years of experience and that kind of thing. All I can say is
Just to make a motion to, all right, right?
Yeah. And they're all in the
Yeah.
box that we all have access to, so. Any of those questions can be answered by pulling that up. Anything else to discuss
Do we need to
currently?
make a motion or no?
Yeah, he made a motion. We need
You already made your motion, which was,
Second.
Which was for the have an executive session on the 20th,
special session.
special session on the 20th, and an executive session for
The 20th.
for the 20th Tuesday.
Won't be here.
It's a session for interviewing and or
We're on
taking
camera.
action on the
Is that,
city
is that
administrator
a
candidates.
mandatory?
Time out. Time out.
time out, hold on.
He won't be here.
There's a chance I won't be.
Oh, you won't be
Chance
here?
he won't, so I think we're gonna run into some. more
be here on the 20th.
Stuff y'all are wanting the action done, whatever, you're not gonna have form to it.
So we just probably need to skip the 20th and go with the
It's
27th.
already there.
So your motion should be somewhere along the lines of, you already have a meeting for the 27th, but we need Mary to set up the interviews with them. So,
So I make a motion to set up interviews with the selected or shortlisted candidates for the 27th special session for the interviews and or to take action on the city administrator candidates.
I've got a motion
Second.
and a second. All in favor?
Judge Kobe.
Randy Lindsay.
Greg Sprinkle.
Yes.
Move on from there. So we've already done 7, 8. Discussion and or action to change the name of city streets. We've got a lot more data to get on that. Real premature with getting on there. So I'd like to just table that if y'all are okay with that.
Make a motion, we table that.
Second.
Okay, who wants to take it? James?
James was first.
James it is.
James was first to second.
I've got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Judge Kobe. Randy Lindsay. Greg Sprinkle.
Yes.
All right. Moving on, number 9, citizens input related, non-related agenda items. I didn't get anything turned in. Is there anything out there?
Can I have one as a citizen?
Non-related.
Not related,
Non-related?
it's citizen. Fill out paperwork for me?
Fill out paperwork before you leave. You ain't gotta do it right this second.
Yes, I will fill out paperwork for you. I want to ask that we have a quarterly budget review of revenue that we have gotten versus expected and expenditures versus budget. So I don't want to wait until October or September to talk about where we are in the budget year, both in revenue and in expenses. So is it possible that we could have a, and I'll ask for this on an agenda item as well, so that we can review, we expected X amount of property tax dollars, we expected X amount of water revenue dollars, we expected X amount of revenue dollars. I would rather quarterly review that and talk about where we are versus where we expected to be. And then just be able to look at the numbers, take 5 minutes and look at it and go, hey, we're ahead, we're behind, we're ugly, we're pretty, we're whatever. But I don't want to wait until September to either be in a bad position or in a really good position. I want us to know first quarter, how do we do? Second quarter, how do we do? And so for the first quarter is now over, October, November, December is now over. So in the February agenda, I would like to see us have budget reviews in the month following the end of a quarter.
That's a great idea, man, I think.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
3 minutes, we can't discuss it, but you know what you gotta do.
Yes. Have a pen. I got
All right, moving on, number 10. Take a motion.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
I've got a motion.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Judge Kobe.
Randy Lindsay.
Greg Sprinkle.
Yes.
We are adjourned at 7:54.